you would be so kind, turn with me to Psalms 121. When you got to say amen.
Amen.
Stand for the reading of the word, please.
Amen.
I will lift up my eyes unto the hills, from which cometh my help. My help come from the Lord, which made all heaven and earth.
Come on.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, that he keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Come on now.
The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night.
Come on.
The Lord shall preserve thee from evil. He shall preserve thee soul. The Lord shall preserve thy coming out and thy coming in from the time and forevermore. May the Lord add a blessing to the reading of his word.
Amen.
Keep in mind that know where your help comes from.
Amen.
Know where your help comes from.
Amen.
We celebrate Black History Month.
Yes.
And I can imagine many of our ancestors knew where their help came from.
Amen.
Marcus Garvey once said that people without the knowledge of their past history, origin, and culture were like trees without roots. History itself is the study of the past, and particularly people, events, and of the past, of their cultures. The pursuit of history is common to all races because it provides a context for our lives. And it helps us to understand the occurrences of the past, that we might be better equipped to deal in the present with what we're preparing for in the future. There have been unforgettable landmark of events in our history, African American history, that point out our great achievements and highlight some of our disastrous eras. There have been prominent individuals that helped shape the course of history through their desire to be and remain free, and through strength of their character, ambition, abilities, and leadership of creativity. Human history, according to a British writer named Arnold Toynbee, is also characterized by the studying the challenges and our response. There have been physical, environmental, economic, and ideology challenges made by individuals who have changed the course of history. Today we celebrate Black history and those who were challenged, thus causing change. We honor our Black American brothers and sisters who with the contributions to this United States. We celebrate the entire month of February as it has been set aside as a tribute to the African American men and women who have made significant contributions in the fields of civil rights, agriculture, religion, science, politics, law, sports, art, entertainment, medicine, and more. From the earliest days of the Africans' presence in America, black slaves have contributed to the very fiber of the American culture. And because we also have served and died in the defense of this country, it is fitting that we should celebrate our achievements and our contributions. We celebrate the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, a civil rights activist, a minister, a Nobel Literate winner, awarded the Presidential Medal of Honor before his assassination in 1968. We celebrate Maya Angelou, a poet, a memorist, an actress, a civil rights activist known for her autobiography writings. I know how the cage bird sing, and all God's children need some traveling shoes. We celebrate Maggie Lennon Walker. Despite her disabilities of paralysis, who became the first black woman to form a bank, and the first black woman of any race to be a bank president in these United States. We celebrate John Mercer Langston, who was the first black man to become an Ohio lawyer in 1854. We celebrate Harriet Tubman, Rosa Parks, Muhammad Ali. We celebrate James Baldwin. We celebrate Shirley Chisholm, Medgar Evers, Theo Gibson, and Barack Obama, who made their mark in history. We celebrate their true relations. We celebrate. We celebrate Nathaniel Adams Cole, better known as Nat King Cole, who became the first American singer, actor, jazz pianist to have a TV variety show in the 1950s. Those who have made their marks forged a path in our history. In our history through exemplary character and leadership. Black history celebrates courage. It celebrates endurance. And the faith of black people to move beyond our bondage and preserve through our hardship. Like ancient Jews of biblical historical times, black people came to understand that God can and uses ordinary men, ordinary men and women to do extraordinary and great achievements that allowed us to rise up, rise up from the depths of degradation of slavery, to rise up from the bowels of the slave ship, and to reign as a president of the same United States that held us captive. I am. Who else but God could liberate and empower men and women of African heritage to such heights? Yes. We are inspired by the courage of Rosa Parks, who challenged the unfair status quo. We are inspired by the creativity of a George Washington Carver, whose favorite scripture was, I can do all things. I can do all things. I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me. Yes, we are inspired by Ida B. Wells, a co-founder of the NAACP. Yes, we are inspired by Joan Henningbaum, the third African-American woman to go into space. Yes, we are inspired. God we serve is an awesome God. He's phenomenal in every way. He's unimaginable in every way. We cannot begin to understand or see as to his plan of how he does things, but believe that he is a God that reigns high and he looks low. What else? What else historic people could have done if they had not had a God. The same God that we serve today, they served yesterday. The same God that rose them up, lays us down and raises us up. The same God. Oh my God. What these historic people have done serves as a reminder. It should serve as a reminder to our role as Christian in the Christian faith that can play in history. Great leaders like Moses and and Joshua and Deborah and Joseph and King David and Daniel and Apostle Paul, my hero, who hesitantly dared to display courage, believing like Joshua, only thou strong and very courageous, that thou mayest prosper whatsoever thou doest. That's the assurance that God gives you. See, God is your ever-present help.
Amen.
God is, when you say, I go to the mountains and I look towards the hills from where coming my help. Thy help is coming from God, from the top of the mountain, Mount Moriah. God is your ever, God is your need. God should be your desire. Ever-present, wherever you're with, God is God all by himself. He's not sharing. He don't have a co-founder. He don't have an assistant secretary. He is God. He's able to do exceedingly and abundantly all things. God is God. None of these leaders achieved their own. Nothing on their own. No. They were empowered. Where did they find their help? They needed to reach their goal. From whence cometh our help? Their help came from the Lord. Our scripture today points out 3 directives. Listen, I'm not going to be in front of you long because I ain't Marlon Mitchell. I gotta hit it and quit it. But the first thing is that the Lord is our strength. In Psalms 21, he says, he will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
That's right.
And he says that he that keepeth thee will not slumber.
That's right.
Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall not slumber nor sleep.
Amen.
Come on.
I relish in knowing that I serve a God who does not sleep.
Come on. That's right.
Today we buy Comcast, ADT, Wells Fargo, to keep us assured that ain't nothing gonna happen in the middle of the night. But you know what? I woke up one night and all the lights was out. And I didn't get a warning.
Come on. That's right.
God's power don't go on. You are ensured that God will be with you all through the night. He will wake you in the morning hour. He will carry you through the evening of the day. He will lie you down and pick you up. That's what God will do. See, that ensures my strength. See, that's why I serve a God who does not sleep. He is my ever-present help that ensures my strength and lights my path. And when crisis comes or challenges me beyond my capability, I want to know I got a God that I can I want to know that I do not have to face my trials on my own power. Isaiah says that when God rolls up his sleeves and he bares his arms, all the earth shall see the salvation of the Lord. Our strength when we are weak, he's our ever-present help.
Amen.
God is our strength when we are persecuted, our ever need. God is our strength when we are cast aside. He's our salvation.
That's right.
God is our strength when we are mocked and ridiculed. Come on, church. You know what I'm talking about.
Amen.
If we are going to commit to a great cause,
Yeah.
if we are going to be the missionaries in the year 21st century, if we are going to magnify his marvelous name, we need to know, trust and believe that this is the God of our ancestors.
Amen.
We need to know and believe that he didn't bring us this far to leave us. He just didn't lead them to the Red Sea. He led them through it as well. I'm going to push on through this thing. And amen will fuel me a little bit. But secondly, the Lord is our keeper. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. When the Lord keeps you, you know you've been kept.
All right. Amen.
When the Lord keeps you, you know that you have shown up and kept. Can I get an amen? You don't have to spend time worrying. You don't have to waste time nor energy strategizing your way through life's tribulations. You just need to let the Lord fight your battle. You just need to let the Lord in time of darkness become your light. When I'm trying to fix some stuff on my own, being analytical like I always do, God tells me, say, John, sit yourself down and stay out. Biblical metaphor puts it, but God is the shade on your right. You know that soldiers in ancient times, they were always trained to carry their weapon in their right hand. But when God shaded the right hand of the soldier, he was hiding the soldier's weapon from the enemy. What better way to sneak on attack to keep your weapon concealed? The psalmist says that when God is your keeper, your enemies will never see you come on. See, church family. See, life is full of enemies.
Yes, yes.
If I wouldn't think so, this came out of my Sunday school lesson.
Come on now. Come on now.
Life is full of enemies.
Yeah.
And I'm not ashamed nor afraid to shame the devil.
Yeah.
Some are within our ranks.
That's right.
You can't always see them because they wear masks of deception.
Come on,
That they wear. Sometimes they are not even people. You see, these enemies are not of the flesh.
That's right.
Enemies of the mind.
Yeah.
Enemies of your soul. And if you are in control of your mind, then it becomes your enemy's resting place.
That's right.
But you got to know and you've got to believe that God will keep you through your shattered dreams. You got to know and believe that God will keep you through your slash hope. You got to know and believe that God will keep you through your troubled waters. You got to know and believe that God will keep you through your afflicted bodies. You got to know and believe that God will keep you through ruined relationships. You got to know and believe that when God keeps you, you are kept. There's no door that can keep you in. There ain't no door that can keep you out. You're safe. You're safe. You're safe. You're safe in his arms. You know that when God holds you, you ain't no harm that can come upon you. You know that when God holds you in his arms, that old devil can do you no harm. I'm coming in now. I'm coming in. I'm pushed. Finally, the Lord is our preserver. Psalms 121 says that the Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Thy Lord shall preserve thy coming and thy coming in and thy going out. And from time and even forevermore. See, we operate now. See, we operate in an infinite span of time. That infinite span of time is me. It's a time that God has set aside for you. You got 3 scores plus 10. I mean, that's like 70 years or more. But God can give you a little bit more. But God is on duty throughout eternity. See, all eternity means infinitely. God can do that for you. God can take you past anything that you can imagine. But God is on duty through eternity, and preserve our earthly bodies from destruction. He is particularly interested in what? He's interested in saving your soul because he wants to reunite with you one day in that heavenly realm. God wants to sit around the throne. God wants to say, hallelujah. Thank you. You may think there's a lot of evil in earth, but evil continues even after death.
Come on, that's right.
The Lord wants to preserve your soul from an experience of the most intense and endless evil. The Lord wants to preserve your soul to spend eternity with Him.
That's right.
Know that, brothers and sisters.
Well,
In Him, sovereign is real and righteous.
yes.
The Lord wants to preserve thy going out and thy coming in.
Come on.
And in our 21st century,
Yeah.
our vernacular, the Lord has your back,
Yes, he does.
coming and going.
Yes.
And when you belong to the Lord,
Yes.
it is impossible for you to find yourself alone.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
God is everywhere.
That's right.
See, the psalmist knew that. He said, whither shall I go
That's right.
from thy spirit? Or whither shall I flee from thy presence? And if I ascend into the heaven,
That's right.
thou art there. If I make my bed in hell,
Yeah.
behold, thou art there also.
Wow.
And if I take the wings of the morning and dwell in the uttermost parts of the sea, even there shall thy hand lead me, thy right hand shall hold.
Yeah.
There are times when we may feel separated from the Lord.
Amen.
But sadly, that's our choice.
That's right. Amen.
See, that's not a reality. That's just your choice. Don't
Amen.
See, God is always calling us to come to Him and rest.
Yeah.
And while we are seeking life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, God is there to guide your questioning footsteps coming and going.
Yes.
Don't take His glory.
That's right.
You give it to Him.
Yes.
The Lord provides faultless leadership.
Yeah.
The leaders in our history provide lessons for learning. And yet we know that life is sometimes tumultuous. There are still some rights to be made, some wrongs to be made right.
That's right.
There are still some losses to be turned into some gains for us. There are still some hurts that need to be healed. There are still some offenses to be forgiven. And there are still captives to be made free.
Yeah.
There are still thirst that needs quenching. There are still sparks that need to bring forth a brighter light. And there's still hate that's taking up too much space in the world. And there's still hell in the White House.
Come on. Come on. That's right.
Hell in Congress.
Come on.
Hell in the courthouse.
Yes.
And if we don't keep our minds and our hearts stayed on God, hell could be our house. You don't know that we serve a God that is able to open a door of deliverance. Don't you know that we are able to serve a God that can do that the devil can't close nor the hell can't penetrate? Don't you know that we serve a God that is able to break shackles and sin? Don't you know that we serve a God that is able to remove that sting of death? Don't you know that we serve a God that is able to destroy the power of the grave? He has established.
Amen.
Thank you.
He has established. He has established His kingdom and defeated the gates of hell. Do you know that you are overjoyed about where your help comes from? Now do one thing for me.
Hallelujah.
You turn to your neighbor and say to them, Say, yes, I thank God I know.
Yes, I
I thank God I know.
From whence will come my help. My help comes from the Lord.
Yes, yes, yes.